Good afternoon once again. It's a program, The Polity, coming to you from KAFTAN television, and it's from the Abuja studio, and it's coming live to you. And it's my pleasure, my privilege to be on this side, and with the full assurance that you also are in your space on the other side. Gives me great joy that we can always do this together every time, and in the process find ways and means of building a better nation and making life generally better than we have met it. That's what we intend to do, because at KAFTAN television we imagine a beautiful world. And so this afternoon we go to look at one of the sectors of the national life, education, a sector that is very crucial to development. And we see that, if you'll agree with me, that there are several gaps that need to be filled in that sector. And that's what we'll be talking about today. Once again, my name is Dayo Omoogun. And with me this afternoon is Dr. Sulieman Abdullahi. Is a leadership and development consultant, also a security expert, and of course a public affairs analyst. He's one of, I could almost call him one of our veterans here, one of our regulars here. I mean, you've become a huge source of support, and I hope that we can continue to have this support, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
You're very much welcome, Dr. Sulieman Abdullahi. And you can see him regal in his suit, looking dandy, you know. And I'm sure you are loaded this afternoon. Your smile is different. I tell you today.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being with you one more time.
All right. So now we want to talk about the education sector and several gaps that we find in that space, and what we should be doing about these issues. And Doctor, you will agree with me that there are several areas to look at. We want to look at the facilities. You go to, I don't know when last you went to a university campus, and you would find out that even basic amenities like toilets are non-existent in some places, or are non-functional. They are there, or they are under-functional. That is, that they are there, something is not working that should be working, it's not clean, it's not hygienic. I mean, as basic as a toilet is, students don't have that. I remember many years ago in one well-known university down south, students would even forget about the toilet entirely, and then go and visit their friend in the in the nearby thickets of bushes in order to do the needful. And as we speak, some of those situations still exist in a lot of the universities. Yes. And then we're talking, that's not yet academic, that's just the human angle. And then you find also that in some of the schools, the libraries are very inadequate. In some of the schools, there are no workshops for technical and engineering students. I recall that somebody from the National Association of Academic Technologists came here about last month, I guess, yes, or ending of October, and he did say that facilities that were originally designed to serve 50 people currently now have to still serve about 250 people. And he asked, how is that possible? You know, how is that even going to be possible? So we have a constricted, a limited supply of facilities, yet the student population is growing all the time. Even as we speak, in spite of these number of universities that we have, there are still several students that do not have places in terms of admission. So there's a whole lot in that space. I mean, you talk about corruption, you talk about the problems between the university boards, or the council chairman and the council and the VC, and so on and so forth. There's a whole lot. Then, of course, if you put in cultist activities, yeah, and all that, then it's a whole myriad of problems. So Doctor, which one would you want to visit the first? And so let's talk about that and also proffer solutions.
If you look at the whole university sector, and I would like also look at the structure first, because the structure of a university determines what environment you find yourself administratively.
Right.
Before we go into that, Mr. Dayo, I want our viewers to understand we have 3 institutions that shaping the society, from anyhow society to a medieval society to a civilized society.
Okay.
The first one is the university system. Whatever you become in life, the university make you to be who you are. A doctor, a lawyer, anything. That is where you are being groomed to know the right of others, to know how to read and write and to respect the view of others. It is there you'll be exposed to a lot of theories. The fundamental basis of knowledge is in the university. That is where you'll be nurtured as an academic, or as somebody who has passed through the 4 corners of university, that actually you have engaged in the real academic gymnastic as far as university is concerned. That is number 1. Number 2 is the judiciary. Judiciary tells you if you are right or wrong, and they tell you how to behave and how not to behave in the society. The third one is the media. The media mirror the society and tells society this is your position where you are today in the world. And it tells you, look, now this is where the world is going, it's dynamic, it's standstill, and this is what other nations are doing, this is what they expect to be doing. So these are the three institutions that guide the society. In this aspect, we are now talking of one of the most number 1 aspect of this 3 institutions, that is the university. The university produce the vibrant, the key human resources to the development of any nation, as the pillar to the development of any nation. So if we are looking at this pillar, and what do you see first? You look at the administrative structure of a university. How do they operate? Then if there is crack in the administrative structure of a university, definitely that university is not going to live to expectation or standard. For example, where you have the 3 key principles of an university: the vice chancellor, the bursar, and the registrar. The chief accounting officer of this, the chief financier, the who take care of the financial activities, is the bursar. The administrative officer of the university is the registrar. The overall academic supervisor of the entire university is the vice chancellor.
Of course, both academic and administration.
Yes. So, but we now have the board that we call the governing council, whereby you have the chairman of the governing council. Now, the chairman of the governing council is a political appointment that now have to oversee with other council members within. We have external and internal council members that form the council member, governing council board, with the chairman appointed by the president to oversee the whole entire activity. Automatically, the VC now report to who? To the council chairman. But in most of the university, like you have now in the Federal University of Technology, Otupo, and this issue of you have in in Unsuka. So you see, this is the problem we are having. If the structure is not well established and there is no correlation in the relation and respect for subordination, and there is insubordination, and interests have come in, I'm telling you, it's not going to work out for anybody, because in that aspect, nobody is talking about the quality of services that will be rendered within that university. They are talking about interest. Let's look at it, for example, a clear cut. There's an issue now at hand. When it comes to structure, we'll take a case study from Federal University of Technology, Otupo, between the Vice Chancellor and the Chairman of the Governing Council. When the Governing Council Chairman reported, that was around June. By July, the Council, the VC now came with a report that, look, he has made a payment of over 150 million naira, and he didn't report to the Council. In the first place, the inaugural of the Council was not scheduled by the VC. The VC have to schedule everything. He was acting at the school, the university don't have money. The council chairman said, look, we don't need money for you to inaugurate us, to sit down and call other people. How much do you need?
So at the initial, he was, I mean, not well disposed to it.
He don't even want to see them. In the first place, the appointment of the governing council is a threat to his existence, because he thinks, look, somebody is now coming to checkmate what I'm doing. He have to look. I'm telling you, within the next 6 months, the VC cannot give a comprehensive report of the university. Professor Uja cannot give to the council. That is the beginning of the whole crisis. 4 years down the lane, the VC cannot complete a project in the new site. None of the projects were completed, and no single cost was accredited to that university. Up to now we are talking. No single cost. When the council chairman, I let the council chairman call and look, we have to set a committee that these courses should be accredited. Let's invite the NEC to come and see. He was asking for money again, about 250 million naira for an abandoned project. So what do we need this money for? We are talking about revision, we are talking about money to pay a contractor. In the first place, when the vision were of no project, they are told to that what they have expended in the site,
or what they claim to have.
What they claim to have expended there. So as God will have it, the council chairman was an engineer. engineer. Well, look, this is below expectation. There's what we call evaluation, monitoring and evaluation, you understand now, and the bill of quality. All this we have checked, and nothing here. At the end, what happened? The VC ran to the PAMSEC, Federal Ministry of Education. He was his colleague in the university. He was his friend, an associate, and a family friend. At the end, the PAMSEC gave an oral instruction to the governing council chairman that after they have suspended the VC on the gross misconduct and insubordination, the PAMSEC was asking the council chairman to go and convey a meeting of the council member to reinstate him and give him an exit, so that he should have soft landing. This is a case study of what? Of a simple university, Federal University of Health Technology, Science Health Technology in Otukpo, just created 4 years ago. Recently. And we have done quite pretty beyond that. So the crisis here now is like, this is a case study of one university. This is what is happening. The moment there is this council constituted, the UVC and the registrar and they feel threatened and they don't want to open up. Up till now, the VC have not given a comprehensive report of what they have done in the last 4 years to this council, and still yet, as I'm talking to you, the case is before the Minister of Education, and the PAMSEC have written a letter to sack to remove the council chairman without the knowledge of Mr. President, because in the constitution nobody have the right to remove a council chairman except on 2 conditions: criminal offense, that's number 1, and gross misconduct. And these things are not there. These are on 2 conditions.
They're not there.
You see, so the problem we have, the community have demonstrated on this case. The students have seriously called for serious memo to the government and to the school management, and look, they are not in support in what the vice chancellor is doing. But as I'm talking to you, the school have remained in a shambles situation. Just like we said, look, no proper arrangement for the student, there's no hostel, they are just paying money. The first set and the second set have not been able to go to work, to what they call it, workmanship, state housemanship.
Okay, housemanship.
They're still there.
That's very sad. And definitely, like you,
look at the psychological pressure on the student, and look at the parent. They have been pumping money, no result, and the students are there. We are not making any progress. Now, this thing have serious impact.
Of course, yes.
In the chain of production when it comes to human development, and these are the product to what we are sending to hospitals to go and check every one of your every student that is not feeling fine, to look at what is the problem in his body health challenges and how do we address it.
I tell you, I agree entirely that that's a very serious matter, and like you said, I mean, if you don't have your foundation right, because that's like the foundation of the entire system, then there's a problem, and the building is not likely to stand.
It's not likely to stand.
Yeah, and the earlier something is done about this, these boisterous winds of politics that has gotten into the system could just deal with a fatal blow.
I'm going to say the moment partner interests have overshadowed the general interest,
there's a problem.
Then we are going nowhere.
Yes, that's
and
true.
I want Mr. President to constitute a panel of inquiry into this case and look at it critically, understand now, and come up with a blueprint paper as they are finding to know the way forward. Because this was expected.
Now, that's a very serious matter, and you have just said the president should constitute. Now, rather than always having to constitute one committee or the other, what can we do permanently about this? I mean, do you think, is there a clear-cut
means of avoiding
clear-cut roles for the governing council and for these principal officers that will eliminate crisis, that this person will know that I am supposed to be reporting to this person, and this person also will not abuse the power vested. I think there should be something.
There is a clear demarcation between the governing council and the principal officers, because now the function of the principal of the governing council is an oversight function on the activities of the principal officers. So if they are transparent, why do you feel threatened by the appearance or by the constitution, by the what the governing council is being constituted?
But is it not possible also? I mean,
and they have this association of what? Of council chairmen of Nigerians. All the council chairmen, they have association, and they report to who? They report to the SGF, the Secretary General of Federation, and they report also to the NUC, that's the Secretary of the Nigerianews of Commission. So now these issues are there. So the issue is that, look, these people are, before we go, let's look at it. Before you become a VC of any university, number one, you are a professor.
Yeah.
For you to be a professor, you should have known that you have passed all through the academic cadre from one level to the other before getting there. And the more that, look, your years of experience make you to be fine-tuned to be qualified to be a VC, vice chancellor. So every faculty chair know that, look, there is clear demarcation between what the council chairman and the principal officer. But let me tell you, what is the relationship between a vice chancellor of a university and the PAMSEC of a Minister of Education? What they are flow, if not for interest?
Is it not possible, for example, that
and who's on the appointment?
An overbearing council could unnecessarily make life difficult for the vice chancellor? Or is it not possible that deliberately from within the system, a deliberately hostile council chairman is appointed over a particular VC, and that sets them against each other?
Yes, if a hostile council chairman is being constituted against any VC, the VC have the right to write a serious petition to who? To the National University Commission, copy the Minister of Education, and also copy the chairman, Association of Nigeria Council Council Chairman of the Universities. They have body. So you have to write to the Minister of Education. One, you have to the SGF, because SGF was the ones that have their letters and just appoint them and give them their letters. So you have to write also to the SGF and the National University Commission. So these people will now look at it, and we still have other institutions. We have House Committee, the Senate Committee on Education, on tertiary education. We also have a House Committee on what? On tertiary education. So you see, you have all institutions that look. You have where to lay your complaint. As a VC. So in a clear case where the VC is not performing adequately and don't want the public to know of the shadow deal, and he have a partner relation with the PAMSEC of the Minister of Education, and he think that, look, he has his way with maybe with the ministers and other people in the ministry, then he will tell you bullshit to what? To the council chairman, the council themselves. Because Uja have no single respect for the council. He has no on one occasion. I like the situation whereby the council chairman told the PAMSEC that, look, after you have orally apologize, pleaded with us that we should consider him. I give you a soft line instead of telling him to go, you understand, now suspending him. Then the camp chairman to now, okay, I'm going to convocate an urgent emergency meeting with the council chairman. But now what we have resolved, we accepted what we have pleaded for. But tell the VC to write an apology letter, even if it is one single line sentence. Do you know Uja, the VC, refused to write an apology letter for what he has done before he has been suspended?
All right, and this might be playing out in several other universities. Yeah, because also we recently had the issue of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University.
And we could imagine during Jonathan's time, we have this professor, the former council chairman of Federal University of Technology, that was later given the appointment as a political advisor to Mr. President President Jonathan. Then he had the same President Yaradua. President Jonathan.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
He has also similar case with the then VC in the Federal University of Technology, Mina.
All right.
So this guy
now talking about a foundation, there are several areas where I think we need to look at that matter. For example, the curriculum. I could well describe the curriculum as like the way you have software that runs the hardware.
Yeah.
Without the software then the hardware is just useless. Likewise, we have a situation on our hands where our curriculum doesn't seem to be well honed, and it doesn't seem to be relevant to our needs, because we have a curriculum that's I think panders to producing certificated people rather than skilled people. And I think that is becoming a real problem in Nigeria today. You find a situation where people have certificates. First, many of them are unemployable, and several others cannot do anything to improve the employment figures, the employment statistics, because they do not have skills. All that they have are theories that have been crammed up. I think that that's also one area that government must be seeking to carry out some reforms, some very deep, comprehensive reports, so that we can have a curriculum that is tailored towards national development. And I'm sure you would want to weigh in on that, because it's a real issue. For many years now, it has been said that a child should have basic education, which is for the first 9 years. Now, but what we find is totally not in sync with that desire. What's on ground, the reality on ground, is not in sync with that desire. What do you say?
After independence, the educational system we inherited from the British colonial master was just a theoretical aspect of it without practical aspect of it. And as we continue to grow, develop on our own, so we never deem it necessary that, look, we need to put the practical aspect of it to go together with the theoretical aspect of it. I could remember that in 1985, that should be
that's
Babangida regime. There was the time the machines to most of these secondary school for technical drawings and technical activities. Secondary school, not technical schools. It was after independence that the government of the day thought, look, we should have technical schools. They have technical schools that graduate students to be carpentry, to be a mechanic, that at the preliminary stages you can handle some tools to produce, to manufacture what you can use within your domain, within the family cycle. But apart from that, today we are graduating engineers that have never have any practical to do with mechanical engineer in terms of when it comes to motoring engineering, when it comes to electrical engineering.
Let's take a break, and after this break we'll continue. You continue.
Okay.
Because that's a very solid point you're making. Well, let's just go on this breather. Welcome back, viewers. You're still in on the Polity, your darling program that comes to you every work day of the week from the Abuja studio of KAFTAN Television. And you know, my name has not changed. It still remains Dayo Omoogun, and I have my guest with me, Dr. Sulieman Abdullahi, and we're revisiting the education sector to look at how we can fill the gaps. We already talked about the structure, the administrative structure of the university that is challenged, that has cracks in many cases, and this has led a lot to some hitches in the administrative system when ego and vested interest begin to take over, where professionalism is what is needed, where prioritizing the university's targets and focus and ideals should be top on the agenda. And he has talked about how, for example, in Futo, how a VC has refused to be accountable, has been not transparent, refused transparency and accountability, and it looks as if officials in the Ministry of Education are backing him up, and that's one serious problem, because the end result, as he says, is that there is no completed project after 4 years of the inauguration of that school.
Yes.
Non-completed project, that's one, but much worse, that no course has been accredited. I'd really like to fact check this immediately after this service, this program, that no course has been accredited, which means it's like fetching water into a basket. You are just laboring. At the end,
yes,
all the years that the students have spent may not amount to anything.
The first graduate student, the medical graduate are there, and the second one are there. Now they couldn't go to a
because there's no basis for it. So you are studying in a system where what you're studying is unapproved.
That is it.
There's no see, that's one. Now we also are about to talk about the curriculum, and also there are several. For example, I believe that in the the basic education, the secondary education, and the university, there ought to be a flow, good, where the basic serves as the foundation, and then the others serve as the edifice resting upon that foundation. What we have today is that in a lot of cases, the foundation is non-existent. Children have really not been taught. Children have, if you have a good primary education, and especially a good secondary education, it makes the university education a walkover. But a situation where you have shaky foundation, shaky process, definitely the product will at the end be problematic. I'll say, for example, let's look at this before we go again to the curriculum, and this might just be part of the curriculum. You have a situation where today, I think we like to lie to ourselves. We enjoy it a lot. We like charades. Now, you find a situation where every Nigerian student passes mathematics at the credit level, at alpha level, at B levels and all that. Yet this is so untrue, because what you find is that 1 day or 2 days after the exam, if you bring in, I've not conducted this research, so this statistics is just to emphasize that the number is huge. If you bring in 65% to 70% of those students again and say, do this thing, they can't do it in their private spheres. They can't help themselves. They can't help others. Which is to say that there's a helping of the system, which means that something has gone amiss within the system. And I think that this is totally not necessary, because for me, I believe that there are courses, for example, that don't require mathematics. I still wonder why you want somebody to have, why somebody must pass mathematics at credit level when he wants to go and study English, when he wants to study sociology, when he wants to study linguistics. I do not understand it. I can understand that you make English compulsory because English is the medium of communicating every course. But I cannot understand how you can also give that elevation to mathematics, because as far as I'm concerned, we deceive ourselves. So that's the reason that's what enables corruption at that level. Because corruption is a huge issue in this matter. And I think that we should revisit that particular part and say that, I mean, there are courses where math is most basic, most critical. But don't tell me that maybe somebody needs to educate me, but I cannot understand why somebody who wants to read English would now have to also, what do you really need it for? So I think that the authorities must begin to look at that area, especially again because those people get it not by their job, by their work.
You see, we are not giving priority to where we should lay emphasis on.
Because see, if the way that they churn out students every year and they claim that they will have proficiency in math and English, then our science and technology should have improved. Beyond that
is where I'm going. If you look at it, a student going to read law,
what exactly does that mean
mathematics for?
If he can get a P, I think that is good.
Look, a student going for law or going to read mass communication, or art or English.
So what do they need? The complicated solves from education and equation and all. Yep.
So the whole thing is so cumbersome for the child at the beginning. If you look at it, there is corruption in the system, and there is no creativity in the system in the educational sector, and the attempt to make the academic educational sector flexible for the student, that they can easily look at it and adapt to a particular area they feel comfortable with, not there.
There should be that
the support for people to go to the area where they have ordinary Nigeria is really alarming.
That's another one.
That's another aspect of it. So the problem here, look, everybody want to get a ripe of what? Of a fruit of the academic sector as far as his child is graduating. Look, he has his paper.
That's all. Because the emphasis is on paper.
It's on paper.
Yes. Not on skill.
Not on skill.
Exactly.
So now if you look at it, at the end of the day, every family want to tell you, oh, my child have 8 A's, 5A, 2B. Now, this certificate, most students cannot defend it. They cannot defend it at the university level, even though they are giving scholarship, cannot defend it. The graduate who produce just like garbage in, garbage out. You have a graduate that cannot write a simple sentence, a compound sentence. You tell what do you have the difference between simple word and compound word? He didn't know.
So I mean, I think that these are serious areas that need to be.
The problem here, look, we have mixed the whole thing together. The difference between a skilled course in the university and unskilled course. Skilled course produce what? Technicians, professionals. Unskilled course produce what? The technocrats. You understand now? Like political scientists, the academicians, the historians, the artists. If you come to the skill aspect, that is the practical aspect, where you have those that read medicine, you have engineering, sciences. So engineering and sciences, these people are supposed to be given all necessary tools to develop and be able, at the end of their 4 years or 5 years in university, they should be able to have a workshop on their own with what they have earned from what to do their NYC,
survive on their
own, service on their own. And maybe the family will be able to see that, okay, you have finished with mechanical engineering or motor mechanical engineering or cycle mechanical engineering or computer science or computer electronic mechanic. So let's look at it together. Or electronic mechanic engineering. What we are trying to do now is also, you don't need a government job. Let's have a very beautiful conducive workshop for you.
Exactly.
Filter with AC and then you get 1 or 2 people you start to mentor from secondary school. You get them and also put them through. Before you know, 1 year you become a millionaire.
Exactly, and you would have contributed to society.
Because in the first place, but if you also look at it, the government are not making the environment conducive, academic sector conducive for the student. Because in the first place, there's no electricity, power, the cost of transportation, you understand now. In the university system, from secondary school to the whole thing, even from the family level, the child has been understand that you are living in a corrupt system.
And so, they will always want to cut corners.
I have a situation whereby if a father was being reported going to sit for a jam for a son.
Exactly. Yeah, it was in the news. Was it last year? That's a terrible one.
You ask a graduate, what is your field of discipline areas? He's just be telling you something different.
No, I don't know whether those things are skits, but there are some of these things I've watched.
But they are born of reality.
And somebody wearing a copper uniform is being asked, what is quarter after? If they say quarter after, what does it mean? And you would hear all kinds of very funny things, all those kind of several questions like that, simple things like, okay, this is an acronym, what does this mean? Basic things that people should be familiar with.
What class of this thing you graduate with? Is it first class?
Exactly.
You're telling me class 3, the whole thing has been messed up. That is why, even if you look at this academic sector, the teachers are not qualified to teach.
Many of them.
You understand now? We have some standard teachers. How many teachers college do we have? In those days, we have teachers college, not NC, not National Teachers College. You understand now? We have secondary school that look, teachers go in there and get their grade A certificate and even start teaching at that level.
All right, okay, at the time, yeah.
At those times, we have teachers college, but now we don't have them. From secondary school, if you tell a child to go to NC, the National Teacher College of Education, you tell you don't want to go.
Now, what even happens is that it is those who didn't get admission into university that is the rest, the people who feel like they are not qualified to get
they are being rejected. They want to go to education and give admission.
So when the poorest, when the least qualified
goes to the teacher's line,
so what will they do? I mean, you only give what you have now.
And if you look at how they have build or model the Federal College of Education, you look at it, you have 3 years. Not like when you have the OND of 2 years.
Of 2 years, yeah.
LC, for you to graduate and have that National Certificate of Education, you have to spend 3 years.
Yeah.
Including your teaching practice, period of teaching practice, close to 4 years.
Yeah.
That is why the moment you have your National Certificate of Education, it qualifies you. If you get an appointment, you are given level 7. A graduate gets what? Level 8. Because the difference is only 1 year. And that is why most of the time, if you have your NC certificate, you are going for your 4th degree, you are only going to spend before it was 2 years.
2 years, I think, yeah. So, I mean, all that are still part of what we need to tackle. How do we improve the faculty? How do we improve the faculty? The personnel.
All these things.
Are there consistent training programs for lecturers?
Training and retraining is expected in every aspect of life. Not only in the educational sector, in every aspect, in all the sectors. But if you look at the educational sector, let's look at it. It is supposed to be the sector that moves the nation.
Yeah, sure.
Because research is being carried out on daily basis. You have lecturers that projects are going on, thesis here and there, seminar papers, presentations, citations here and there. Journals are being published on maybe quarterly basis. Then at the end of the day, is all the sectors that are they making use of all these researches?
All right.
The result, the findings. You understand now?
Exactly.
So if they are not making, then what are we doing? The statistics we are getting from National Statistics of Bureau, are they correlated with what? With the research from these institutions? As a lecturer, as a PhD holder, as a doctoral degree holder, what areas have you covered within the period of 4 to 5 years before you are giving professorship or associate prof? Have we looked at that? We have not looked at that. So you see, institutions now wake up and say, look, this person has been here for more than 3 years. We start looking at the world, at the real creativity, academic creativity that makes him to be, make him qualified to be a prof. The university will just look based on politics and regional identification or personal relationship or connection. If this will just look, this guy, I think we better give him his prof, even if he's not qualified.
We do have a long way to go, but I think that this can be done. And
but this can be done. Yes, we can achieve that. But the commitment is not from every other person. It's from Mr. President. Give us a sound Minister of Education.
Do you think that that's the only thing?
It's part of it. Because if you have a Minister of Education, look, I'm sorry to say, I always make reference to this, the past Minister of Education during President Muhammadu Buhari, Adamu, who have severally rated a lot of criticisms against ministers and administrators.
Okay, that's his pen name. I'm not. It's Adamu. He writes for. He used to write for Daily Trust.
Yes.
Okay.
So now, as a Minister of Education for 8 years, if you call him now, looking at all your critics in those days, of all the sectors, understand, as a Minister of Education,
you had the opportunity.
What have you achieved?
Little or nothing.
He went back also to sit down and be treating what? Files. He's busy treating files. What have you impacted with all your experience, all the books you have read? You have been in the mainstream of what? Journalism for years, decades. So now you are to bring your experience, you understand now, to what? To work. So that everybody could benefit. It didn't happen. So now what?
And he had, again, he was one of the ministers who had the entire 8 years.
Yes,
the entire 8 years.
And then he was one time apologizing to Nigerians after all the damage have been done.
No.
You see, let me tell you, let me be sincere with you, Mr. Dayo. If you have people that knows their job, there is no time for them to retire. Because they can retire, but they will never be retired. Look at Okonjo-Iweala.
Yeah.
You understand now? She has been appointed again. As a DG, World Trade Center. Look at this guy in the African Development Bank.
Yes,
Agricultural Development Bank, yes, something like that. He's still vibrant and he knows what he's doing. We have a lot of them that are performing. The former vice president got an appointment of recent, you understand now? So if you have minister that really knows what they are doing, I'm telling you, look at this guy was employed by ECOWAS, the former minister of economics. That is this guy, I've forgotten his name, Professor, he's from the north.
Okay, just go ahead.
I will call his name. You see, he has been appointed by ECOWAS in one of the areas that have to do with economics, e-commerce, yes, on developing African e-commerce. So you see, if they know what they are doing, and they are veterans in their field, and as a minister, it gives you opportunity to showcase your experience and to bring to the fora what you have learned in the past and your experience, everything, and what you have studied over the years and your research work. I have been here, I will criticize this, and I'm sorry to say that, look, the very day you say Sulieman, take this appointment, and I start to flop up. I don't expect you to say, look, we are giving you any time to, look, kick me out of the system.
I think
I'm telling you,
really, I think a very solid point is being made. Many times people have opportunity like this to ventilate, to say all kinds of things, and then you hand over responsibility to them. No difference. I have said it not once, not twice. As a Minister of Education, you are supposed to be up and doing. How many universities have you visited? Look, unexpected visiting. How many times has the Minister of Education visited the Executive Secretary of NIGCOMSAT Commission? But let's look at this very, very seriously, very critically. With those visits, what value will those visits actually drive? What? Because visits will show, okay, this building is not good. Visits will show, okay, this money that was sent to you, you have not put it to work here. So what's happening?
That's aspect to so.
But it doesn't change immediately.
The visiting, you are going as what? As either you have graduated as an engineer or as a law student, you understand now?
Okay.
Go back to your faculty, look at what they are doing. Ask the student questions. You can take practical up to today. If I go to my university, I know mass communication 1001, 1002. I know all this what you are saying. Is it public relations are telling me, or the theory of mass communication I will not tell you, or let's go to English literature, where you are talking about poems, novel and drama. I don't know. I can teach all those things in the university.
All right. Now, let me just
question you understand now. Look at it practical.
Dear viewers, you have opportunity to call on to this show. Someone is trying to call, and please, you're welcome. The number is still the same, 00299383665, and we expect that the first person is here. Wow, S.O. Dudu, the first caller today. S.O. Dudu.
S.O. Dudu calling from Cross River State. Imagine a beautiful Nigeria with KAFTAN TV.
With KAFTAN TV, yeah, that's who we are.
Imagine
a beautiful,
workable educational system with KAFTAN TV.
With KAFTAN TV, that's what we're imagining right now.
Yes. Good afternoon, my very amiable host, Mr. Dayo.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to the Don, the studio, Dr. Sulieman. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to our esteemed viewers out there. A very wonderful topic, revisiting the education sector, filling the gaps. Very, very important. This is timely. Yes. Let's start from the primary school.
Exactly.
If you look at, it is high time most of our state governors declare state of emergency on the primary school level, the education in the primary school level. Why am I saying this? Come to my ward headquarters right now. A school that is like the zonal primary school, controlling the whole zone in the world. The school has less than 5 teachers, while we have 6 classes, which is very, very unfortunate. Then imagine the less privileged that cannot go to nursery school. How would they be able to?
That is private school, right?
Then most of these people are the hands of affairs now in this country. Most of them were product of public primary school, while they are contributing in killing the public primary school. That is why we say we need also educational autonomy for the local government level, since the primary education is directly under the control of the local government.
Yeah.
Yes. And again,
well, sorry, yes, Odudu, what do you mean by educational autonomy?
Yes, educational autonomy, whereby the local government will be responsible for recruitment and training of teachers.
Okay. I thought that's what already obtains, isn't it?
No. As it stands now, the local government has no power, like in my state. Local government do not do employment.
Right.
It's the state that is doing employment.
That's what
it's not supposed to be like that.
Right.
It's not supposed to be like that. And again, you see, we need to have free return to this policy of Awolowo, free and
compulsory primary education. Yeah.
If you want to actually have it right. Then on the teacher training, this TTC, Teacher Training College, if the government want to have it right across board, most especially on the area of education, we must return back to the running of this teacher training college, because that is the core mandate. And it is very, very important. Look at most of the product. The president, Tafawa Balewa.
Yes.
Yes.
He was a grade 2 teacher.
And Shagari,
well,
yeah, that's it.
You cannot compare all the graduates. The graduates that have been ruling, the PhD holder that have been ruling states as governor. You cannot compare them, talk less of president, to what he actually achieved during his tenure as the president of Nigeria. And to the university system. The university system is actually another case completely. And just as our guest put state. It is high time we have a real Minister of Education that actually knows what is happening in our university system. Commissioners of Education that knows what is happening in our education system in the states, whereby you will be paying unscheduled visits to universities, paying unscheduled visits to primary school and secondary school in the states. It will definitely help. If you see anyone that actually is ready for the job, just as the Don said, you will know. From all intents and purposes, I can quote him or take him up by saying, this is the kind of people we need to give responsibility of this nature. Very, very important. Look at our education sector.
You must begin to round up now, Dudu.
Please let me round up. Look at our universities. If you attend an NSC seminar, an NSC defense, a PhD seminar or a PhD defense, your life will never remain the same.
Yes.
You will be transformed.
Yes.
Because of a very wonderful contribution you'll be hearing from Don, you'll be hearing from academicians. But at the end, most of this work, very wonderful work, does it actually be used in the development of the economy? Why in those days where we were still having 1-2 universities, professors, economic professors from this university were coming to the government, were being used by the government to advise the government on how to midwife the economy. S.O. Dudu calling from Cross River State.
Thank you very much, S.O. Dudu. Well done. That's S.O. Dudu from Cross River.
Yes.
There. Now, so you listen to some of the points, and some of them quite also aligned with your position. Yes. on this issue. Now let's look at some of the facilities, the rot in facilities. I mean, a viral video recently showed where children were eating food with soup that looked like puddle, like water mixed with mud. I mean, maybe that's the way I saw it, but it was really pathetic. And I think that I'm so happy that government in that state took action immediately by reportedly suspending the principal or the vice principal. And these are things that should not even happen. If we have some level, some modicum of humanity in us, those things shouldn't even happen in the first instance. But again, people have said that maybe it's a problem of costs, that the money that these children pay for as school fees, which of course incorporates the boarding, that is insufficient, and that probably that's why the school had no choice than to give them food without any protein content and looking very unfortunate, you know.
Mr. Dayo, let me tell you, I started my early primary school, in boarding school. That was in St. Bartholomew Primary Boarding School, Usasa Zaria, one of the missionary school, Anglican school then, in the early 70s.
Yeah.
You see, every week they will kill a he-goat to prepare our food we take. In the morning, we know you either go for tea, bread and stew, or you are going with yam stew and pap, and you prepare for it. Most of the time that when they won't do gari eba, you feel that, look, this is not part of this is what we are enjoying. Whenever they are going to give you a base porridge, they will attach it with bread and other things. This the educational sector needs a serious reform. You understand now? A state of emergency should be declared, the teachers at the state level, at the local government level.
So you agree with S.O. Dudu?
I agreed with him, particularly in the northern part of Nigeria, whereby you see people's children sitting on the black floor, and the zinc is all is open. The sun, when the sun is
too much of a shame. We shouldn't talk about such things. We shouldn't talk about such things in this time and age. That children will
sharing granite in the classroom on the bare floor.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Honestly, so these are the reasons why we said let's look at this again. Government, I'm sure somebody's watching.
Do they have conscience?
We need to wake up and fix some of these things. How do you feed those kind of...
That is why I'm telling you, all these Northern Governors Forums, where Eastern Governors Forum, Southern Governors, what is the essence of all this forum of the Governors Forum? What are they discussing? What impact have they made? They are coming together to share experience, understand now, and ideas, to have a kind of theoretical review mechanism. It's not working, and we're not getting out of it. That was it. They are just sharing and making friends among themselves. Who have the latest building in Dubai? Who have the latest building in UK? Or in Saudi Arabia?
Doctor, you can't be too sure about that. But the truth is, there's no doubt about it that those vehicles are supposed to be some kind of peer review vehicles.
Let me read this. I saw a video clip of what? Of students being sponsored on scholarship to Cyprus from Zamfara State. They are there begging. They have become laborers, over 100 of them. Both male and female. And these are the students in Cyprus that are carrying our flags, green, white, green, and they are there. The government is insensitive to what is happening to these children. Over 100 of them there. We saw them live. In Cyprus, they have become laborers. They have to work. Even one we have some bruises on his faces. Are they criminals? You said you can do it, and you sponsor them to another country. You understand now? To respect, to pay for their school fees, their tuition fee, their free allowance, their accommodation. They have been rejected completely. They have been thrown out of the school environment.
Wow.
And the government is still there.
You know how they say wahala no dey finish.
Oh my God!
Which day wahala go finish, sir?
I think we have to put our reasoning cap and come to the terms of reality of what's happening.
Doctor, let's see. This one is not complying with the ground rules, so cut down the volume of your TV set. Hey, one moment, please. Cut down the volume of your TV set and move away from the TV set, and then let's go.
I've done that, sir.
I don't think so. I've done that. Okay, go on. Let's see.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
In fact, the topic you are discussing is very, very interesting.
All right.
Yes, because like some of us that are of age, because what we are seeing today, these days, it seems to us as if whether it's the real human beings that are coordinating the affairs of today's event. Because when we started this school, our school fees was 1 naira. 1 naira. Again, today, see the huge amount of money we are paying in the name of private schools. At the end of the day, you will find out that you don't even know what they are teaching your children. They will come home, you cannot to evaluate them, to assess them. In fact, it's very, very pathetic. And as you people have said, all these are present leaders today. During the day they went to all these schools, I wonder how much they paid to acquire this knowledge. Infrastructure is not there. Nothing is there. Then for God's sake, all of us have the privilege to travel out of this country to see what is obtainable outside. And when you get there, you come back to Nigeria, you'll be wondering whether it's the real human beings that is governing Nigeria or governing us.
All right. You need to round up now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. No. Honestly, it is every day I'm hearing your programs like this. It's touching my heart. What are we leaving behind for our children on board and those that are coming? God bless you all, sir.
Bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, so everybody is bothered, as it were. Most Nigerians are bothered. But unfortunately, because that example you cited a while ago really, it should haunt us as a people, that you find people who are very vocal on certain areas, on certain topics, and then somehow Providence now says, okay, this area we've been talking about, make your difference, and they fall short. It's worrisome. I mean, talking about Adamu, for example, and you find out it pains me. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's like football watching. Somehow the person sitting on the before the screen, before the screen, or as a viewer, seems to always have better ideas of what you should have when he puts in there. Because again, I think these things are practical things. The person who is on the field is not surrounded by the kind of circumstance that you are surrounded with. There are two different scenarios. The person on the field has quick decisions to make. He doesn't have the luxury of thinking for too long. So he thinks, okay, let's pass the ball to the doctor. But whereas maybe the doctor might not be properly positioned.
I will disagree with you.
No, I'm just trying to say what could be responsible.
Yes, because the nonchalant attitude. Because what is responsible? The moment you give a responsibility to anybody, people start congratulating that look, it's a means of making money. The moment you appoint somebody as a minister, the next thing is calling in the PAMSEC, areas of interest.
Areas of cooperation.
Of cooperation, integration. Which area do we need to key in? What is the budget for this? What is the
how much of it has
been spent? How much has been paid? Where are the contractors? You want to know the contractors who are owing, who are not owing. What is left behind? Yes. Is this the main aspect why you are there? That's not the main reason why you are there. The main reason, look at policies, policy drive, management achievement by the principal management, the directors. You look at the activities, who is handling that, not contractors. Look at what the PAMSEC, what has been going in this ministry in the last 3 months. Give me an executive summary. You understand now? Where do we have challenges? Ask about problems so you know
how to solve them.
Not that look, the moment you come to with a mindset you are going to a field to play ball, the first thing you could tell you are going there to win.
You need to win. It's a winning,
Yes, mentality.
That's correct.
So if you are going to any appointment, the first thing you have to know that I'm going to succeed,
make an impact.
So anybody that congratulating me, please don't congratulate me. I am giving a task that need to be done.
I think
and yet if you want to congratulate me when I finish, come and congratulate me.
Exactly. I think that we have this attitude in Nigeria generally of thinking that public office or any position is something to celebrate.
No, you are called to serve.
Don't have an understanding that it is about service and service delivery. I recall that maybe this is not quite, but I recall that as a pastor, I don't really want to mention a particular one, who said while he was in a particular church growing up, they gave him a certain responsibility, and people came around to say, "Oh, congratulations! We thank God. This is well deserved." He said he looked at them and felt that something was wrong with them, because what it meant was that I am now on the spot. That is it. What it meant is that I have a whole lot of sacrifice to make. What it meant is that I must make a difference. What it meant. So many times Nigerians don't see the work. They only see the perks. They only see the perks. They only see the
surrounding environment for you to work.
Exactly.
They make it convenient to deliver.
So all that is for you to deliver. It's not just a part. It's not just
it's not a party. It's not a party. Yes. So
it's not just about paparazzi.
The problem here, look, we have to change our mentality. Look, even when Mr. President, even though Mr. President, we said, look, he's not performing as expected, but there was no statement when he said, look, he said it comes in time with reality, what is on ground. Look, I asked for it. Don't sympathize with me. You understand now?
Yeah.
Leave me to my job. I agree. I asked for it. I said I can do it, and let me try my best. But in a situation where somebody gives somebody responsibility, are you congratulating that, look, you know you have the capacity to deliver, and that's why he has been appointed, that look, you're going to solve the problem? If it is not, what are you congratulating me for?
What is the meaning of the congratulations?
I should go and still come and share with you. The next thing when you have been appointed, up to now you have not given me a job, you have not given me a contract.
So that's to say that we also have a problem.
Part of the problem. At family level, all family members must make sure that, look, you must force your child to read. Look, Mr. Dayo, there is one thing. Let me tell you, I have this practical experience I want to share with my viewers, with our viewers. You see, in the university, there was a course I was taking then, English literature. Is all about novels. In a semester, I need to read about 11 novels within 3 months. And I have other literature books to read, and the poems, and you have the drama books, you understand now. So now, I have a carryover. I was busy with other activities within the school campus, because I was deeply into the journalism activities. So one day an elderly man called me. He was not in our age, but in the same class. I will call him Sulieman Angila. He said, around 7 o'clock, he said, my friend, come here. He saw me going in my normal, activities, bouncing, and just at that age, big boy. He said, look, my friend, come here. He was serious about it. Look, you cannot pass this course without reading these novels. If you want to pass this course and you have to pass this English courses, you must sit down and read. Without reading, there's no miracle to it. You cannot come to go and read and pass them. And you know what happened? And I sat down. I said, look, this is a God sent to me. And what this guy is saying, if I really want to graduate, I have to sit down and read this novel. Mr. Dayo, within less than 2 months, I finished 11 novels and I wrote my exam and I came out with C in that particular topic. That was European literature. Let me tell you, parents should tell their children at primary school, secondary school level and university level, there is no way you can pass any exam without reading. Focus. I mean, make sure
instead of thinking that you can always cut corners, that's the real problem.
You see, today you get parents who even go and do assignment for their children.
Oh my God,
very bad. Let me tell you one thing. In those days, the way it is 8 o'clock, the father and mother will tell you, go and take your book, enter the room, go and read, because in the next 1 hour they are preparing to listen to network news.
Yeah,
do we have that system?
No, there's nothing like that. Just before, because we have little or no time, really. There's this. As we talk about challenges, there's something that this government has brought into the space, and I think that we should look at it and sort of evaluate it. The loans, student loans. Facility that has just been introduced by the Tinubu regime. How do you look at it?
It's just when you want to trick a child to come and you want to send him for one error or the other, want to make him to sleep so he don't know what you are doing. You say, look, come and take milk. Oh, is that the way you look at it? That's why I look at it. Is that our problem?
You don't think it's commendable?
Look, let me tell you. You want to say something with you. That money, use it to furnish our universities.
Now, what about students who are poor?
Students who are poor. How many poor students have graduated their children from various universities? I mean, from a poor background family. My mother is a petty trader. My father is a farmer and a laborer in one of those institutions down in my village. I have over 10 degrees. My father cannot read a simple sentence. I cannot write a simple sentence. The same with my mother. How do I achieve all this? And they didn't go for any loan.
All right. So if you went through a tough patch, if you went through a tough road to arrive at your destination, must everybody pass through that?
Let me tell you, what options are we saying? What is create an enabling environment, conducive environment for me to read, go in there, pay my tuition fee, and then my tuition fee was just 16 naira.
They're not supposed to be mutually exclusive. Yeah, do you understand? Yeah. The fact that there are loans for students shouldn't mean that they cannot be the right facilities.
If you give loan everybody to go and read after they have graduated, how will they pay? They won't pay. That's the psychological torture that, look, I came out with the result and I have to pay my loans. It's another thing again. He has to travel to pack all his paper because he knows he's on loan.
No, you didn't go through loans.
I don't want to loans, but I have one pass. I have one pass. That look, I must not fail. If I fail, I'm failing my family. I'm failing my parents.
Good. That's some pressure there. Everybody has to have some point of pressure. So if the other party's point of pressure is I have loans to pay, I mean, what's wrong with that? The whole essence, as far as I'm concerned, is to ensure that, okay, there's balance. I think what we should emphasize is, as these students have these loan facilities, let's also ensure that it's not a bogey. I mean, they're not just getting loans that cannot pay. Not just that they won't get the real education. Because, for example, we talked earlier in this program that if you get the real education, you get skills, you can always be independent. You can set up something that can generate. If you set up something that is prospering, that is doing well, you won't bother how much the loan is.
Mr. Dayo, do you have electricity? the cost of existence today in Nigeria, the cost of living today in Nigeria is overbearing on every.
So I'm saying to you, now, are you going to say, is it this loan that is going to now make electricity?
Let me tell you, this loan we are talking about, to be, how will he cushion the academic effect of an individual, understand now, to be a perfect citizen? That is not it. Instead of that, look, let me tell you one thing. I have said it in this program earlier before. Educational sector, the government should do one thing. Look, let me tell you, every constituency, the federal government should use that money, go and build federal college, whereby it should not constituency project now. With the Ministry of Education, have a model of a school you want to build as what? Federal government college. To each of these constituency, go there, build it, let the senators monitor the project from A to Z, and now you have to employ direct people at every local government, every state or each constituency that will have federal government impact within that constituency. And what we are saying that, look, you employ staff, academic and teaching and non-teaching staff. You understand now? So instead of giving loan, make things easy for these people. Let them be able to go to these institutions that are within their doorsteps. You see, the problem here is that, look, unemployment, if today the federal government will take it upon itself, look, we are going to build each state three secondary schools. That shows one in each senatorial district, you understand, across the 36 states of the federation, including FCT. And the moment they are finishing building, they are employing and they are taking students. Let me tell you, it will reduce the burden of unemployment. You are going to employ over 100,000 of unemployed people on the street as what? As teachers, as teachers in the school. And students will have direct bearing from these people that have experience, that have been lying off without job, now in this institution to have something to offer and to have something within their domain, within their state, because the cost of accommodation will not be in the city, within their local government, the cost of feeding, they will have others, small job they could do, maybe farming and other trading within their locality. So look, the government should look at policy that will really will be meaningful to Nigeria, that will have serious impact on a common Nigeria, so that the overbearing of moving from the rural area to urban area is too much. The cost of living in Abuja, Lagos is so unbearing.
All right, now because we need to begin to round up, Doctor. So clearly, you are not a fan of the loan thing.
I don't think if you make this environment, family will be able to pay. Family will pay, and their children will graduate and get a job.
All right, okay.
Because when I finished my university, even before going to NYC, I got a teaching job. I was teaching English and English literature. How many universities are teaching have English literature and history now? All those things are not there.
No, very good. So right now, how many people, even after 2 years, 3 years, get jobs? You already had a job while serving as copper.
Before I was serving.
Before serving.
Yes. Before the NYC come to NYC.
And so, right now you don't have that, and they shouldn't also have help in terms of loan.
To me, I think the government should have a better way of.
Well, maybe in rounding up, let's talk about the drama that got quenched recently by the appointment of the new minister. The drama of the age 16 or age 18.
You see, when we said corruption in the system is corruption in the system, and the corruption is in the system is not from the common Nigerian, it's from those that make the policy. Their children being sponsored to UK, US in competition with the family members, associates of the family or family friends. You see, if Talatu came out with a first class, it doesn't mean that Lami must also come out with first class.
Right. Yeah.
Unhealthy competition within this class of people. You understand now? This is the problem. Because she graduated at the age of 16, you understand now? You want your daughter to graduate at 15, then let's have a bar.
Okay, that's what the other minister was saying.
I was saying, yeah, because it has brought a serious corruption in the education sector, whereby you see teenagers in the university that don't know what they are doing, they don't know the right between the difference between right and they cannot even defend their district. I have seen a graduate whereby, look, tell him to come. What have you studied? He'll be looking at you. In your level 1, what they teach you?
Yeah.
He's just looking at you.
Well,
so the problem is, look, you produce graduates that cannot defend their certificates.
No, but that's not age related.
It is part of the age-related matter, because at that age they are not well tutored for them to understand. All they do is they get somebody to write the exam for them, prepare them, understand. Now look, prepare this guy for this GC.
No. I think the point.
I'm coming. The preparation was not based on what, prepare him to know what he's doing. Look, I want this guy to graduate at the age of maybe 17, or to go to university at the age of 14. You understand now?
No, not
this
14,
is what I'm saying.
Of course, not 14.
I don't know if it's grammar. They will tell you PhD holder at the age of 20.
No, but those are rare. I mean, you can have those kind of freaks. I mean, how do you put it now? Of course, nature throws up some of those kind of ones.
Looking from my personal experience, let me tell you, I told some people have been possessed by this gene, and they will tell you that they are graduating student, have PhD or professor at the age of 20 or 29, 20, 25. So it's not funny, because I know what it takes to graduate. Understand now? Right. I know what it takes to really work and sit down, looking at the rigorous activities, academic activities.
Let me just ask you, as we begin to close, let me just ask you, have you watched this program, America Got Talent?
No.
I think you would. I recommend that you watch it.
Okay.
Because you'll see some incredible feats, the things that your mind would never have imagined, that are being done, and they are being done practically. There's no fiddling. There's no behind. There's no funny thing. It's being done.
Have you seen things that look and progressive?
So the point I'm making is that there are prodigies. There are people who are blessed with much more. Supernormal abilities. So, doctor, please don't look at it. Don't look at it that way. Particularly, just go watch America Got Talent. That should give you an insight into the fact that some of these things are really true, and they are possible, and they are happening.
I agree with you. You understand now? But in this part of the world, you understand now?
Yeah.
Things like that, people turn. That's why we have Yahoo boys that want to make money within overnight. You understand now?
No. I'm happy that you have thrown up the Yahoo matter. The Yahoo matter. All we need is just to tweak it from the negative views to the positive views. That's all. So, which means there's an inherent strength that is just being deployed wrongly, right?
Not like what I said. Some power
that is not being used rightly.
So call US, call Britain, Russia. All the skills and the experts, your talent you have used in creating and doing this atomic bomb. Why can't you use it constructively to have a single sun that will power all the whole world? Light that will power the whole world, so that we don't need to connect on our wires. A single bomb will destroy the whole world.
Yes.
They didn't have it.
Yes.
You understand now?
Yes, but
look at the kind of
a single source of power
that will also light the whole world. Maybe Nigeria, what is that?
No. The thing is, if they do that, Nigeria, some countries will not pay. Some countries will default in their payments, and that will
I think our educational sector need to be revamped, and they should declare a state of emergency, and technocrats should play a very important role, and let's look at our old hands that have retired. If there's need, call them to work. Understand now? Let's tap into their experience and see how we can bring back, the glories of those days in the education center where everybody want to be a teacher. Not now that everybody don't want to be a teacher, they're running away from the profession.
Yes. Yeah, so thank you very much, Doctor. It's always a pleasure to have you, because we can trust that you come with your passion and a desire to make a difference. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
At this point, we will have to go, but just before then, our thank yous are substantial. Big thank you to the production team, and thank you so much, those of you who called. Thank you so much, because I understand that some of you probably have been trying to call and didn't get through. So let's appreciate the effort, because that's the challenge. Many times we only appreciate the final product, we hardly appreciate the process. And so thank you so very much, and thank you that is sitting there, who is an avid fan of KAFTAN television. Do something though. Tell your neighbor, This is where it's happening. Tell them, tune to KAFTAN television, and you can't have anything better. Bye now.